We just talked about how managing inventory is just as important as managing the customer experience. I'm curious from where you sit, what you're seeing when it comes to consumers and what they're willing to spend on, because there is, of course, a robust consumer market in the United States, and demand has not dropped off, but people are becoming more selective. They're shying away from luxury goods and maybe downgrading a little bit here. What are you seeing?
Well, mainly we see three things. We see that the importance of the home has continued to increase since the start of the pandemic. So improving your home, making your home more safe for your child, organizing your home better, be able to work from home, that continues, that trend. And it's actually globally. We see it, we have 63 markets, and we see it very similar across all our markets, globally the same. The second trend we see is, of course, inflation that has reduced all our wallets, where more of our share of our wallets has to go to necessities. And this, of course, is also. And the third trend we see very much now coming is also this looking for sort of really good value for your money. And that has also been very prominent now. So we do see that the home furnishing category is slightly decreasing, but within that you're looking for even more value for money. And this is very beneficial for Ikea. We are very, this has happened before in 2008 and in other economical difficult times. Ikea has always been very successful in those times.
In November, I believe you said that Ikea is going to cut prices on all of its 9,500 products because of lower costs in raw materials as well as shipping. How far along that process are you? Is that done?
Yes, so our ambition is always to have lower prices.
Sure.
Our mission is to help as many as possible with great home furnishing, and lower prices is a great enabler of that. It was extremely painful when in the aftermath of the pandemic, the whole supply chain was very disrupted, and we had to eventually increase our prices in that. I am very happy and very proud that we are now decreasing our prices across the board, across all 63 markets, and that we take that step by step. And then it looks different in each market. But here in the US, we've been going through our US business this week, and I'm very happy to see now that we have lowered the prices to close to 1,000 of those 9,500 products already here in the US.
Well, talk to us a little bit more about IKEA's footprint here in the US in terms of store expansion, but also the types of stores. I mean, most people associate IKEA with sort of the big cavernous stores where you kind of go through the maze and pick up everything, and eventually you find the exit, by the way. We can talk about that after the show. But you've experimented with smaller stores and stores that didn't even necessarily carry the items themselves. It was kind of a showroom. Are you still doing that?
Yeah, so first of all, our big stores are still very popular. Yeah. So we have 860 million visitors every year to our stores, and that keeps quite, we sustain that level. So we are very happy for that in that. The second is, of course, that e-commerce has also grown dramatically now, especially since the pandemic. So today, that's 25% of our turnover sits on e-commerce. We get better and better at that. It's, of course, the interaction, but also the fulfillment of that's working. And there we can actually utilize our big stores as a good section. The smaller formats is still a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity in all our markets, but also here in the US. Of course, we are sitting in the middle of New York here, and it's very busy streets a lot. It's very difficult to find a footprint where we can put the 250,000 square feet store here. And we see that being a great opportunity. But what we have learned is that when customer comes to substantially smaller footprint of IKEA, they have quite similar expectations. They want to find all the width of our assortment. So they want to be able to find sofas, bookcases, everything. But they also want to carry home things to a much larger extent than we thought. So we see customer who comes there and they want to take the Billy bookcase with them home.
Well, I was one of those. I mean, we actually opened up, you guys opened up one right across from Bloomberg headquarters a while ago. That was before the pandemic, I think, and then it closed down. I am curious, you said 25% e-commerce, right? I'm actually surprised that's not higher. I mean, I know a lot of people like going into those stores, but I would just think, given how most of us in the early days of IKEA's presence here in the US got exposed to it through the actual physical catalog that would get mailed and everybody would leaf through it, I would think that would have translated to a higher e-commerce business.
Yeah, this is the global number. And in different markets, there is different variations. We have markets that are up on 40, like the UK, etc. But I think overall, this is a big step for us. Before the pandemic, we were on 5%, and now it's on 25%. So that is a big step for us.